Everyone. This is Keith Robinson, Executive Vice President with Better Homes and Gardens, Mason-McDuffie, and thanks for tuning in to our short-form radio show. Let's say we created a team. Let's pretend that Jeff and I just created a team, and it's just not working. And we're new in the business. We're not new in the business, but we're new in a team, and we're struggling in this market. What advice would you give Jeff and I? What would be the 1, 2, or 3 things you'd say we should look at to try to shift that?
The first thing I would say is first couple things I would say is to go back and discuss what was your purpose of building a team?
Smart.
What was your ultimate goal? Where did you want to be in 12 months, in 3 years, and in 5 years from now? Mm-hmm. And maybe try to take yourselves out of your own skin
mm-hmm.
and go to 10,000 feet and look over where you are and what steps you've taken so far to get to those goals, and reevaluate where you should be.
Yeah.
And if you still feel that you can work together and you're going to accomplish that, it's a little rough patch in the road.
Sure.
Then keep working towards that.
Mm-hmm.
If you're definitely two strong closers and you're both to the same skill sets, in our opinion or in my opinion, maybe you're not the right team.
Sure.
You really need that balance, that yin-yang you were talking about.
Yeah.
And go back to what you were doing before and maybe find another partner if that's what you're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
Or, depending upon where you are in your real estate career, maybe you need an assistant, not a partner.
Right.
And that's another thing to look at. We have an assistant,
mm-hmm.
But she handles a lot of another business we have, which is property management.
Mm-hmm.
But by the same token, she can handle things when we're away,
mm-hmm.
and she doesn't get involved in the decision-making. But she's a third person to bounce things off of
Sure.
the office if we have some issues we're trying to overcome or deal with.
Good. So what I really glean from that is if it's ever not working in any partnership, right, the key is communication. And sit down, detach the ego as best you can. Don't make it an ego-based discussion. Make it an idea-based discussion around, is this working for what you wanted? Is this working for what I wanted? Is this sort of feeding your professional soul? Is this feeding my professional soul? And if this was perfect, what would it look like? Right?
Exactly. Yep.
And if at the end of that it's, hey, this really isn't working for you or me, let's go ahead and shake hands and part friends, that's okay. In a multiple counter situation, any tips, any tricks, anything that you do that help your buyers win?
Well, again, going back to the importance of communication with the listing agent.
Mm-hmm.
If I can find out whether any of those other multiple counters or any of those offers are all cash,
Yep.
Or if I can find out whether anybody waived contingencies,
Yep.
or if I can find out whether or not the listing agent believes that if everybody accepts their counters as submitted, will my client win the contract?
Yeah, it's a great question.
So
State that question again.
Well, I'm asking the listing agent, hey, Joe, what if everybody comes back accepting the counteroffer that they received? And the counteroffers can be different to each of those buyers. That's an important distinction as well.
And they usually are.
Yeah.
Because one, they might be countering up on price. Another, they might be countering on terms. And even in the third one, they could be countering on both price and terms.
Right.
So every counter in a multiple counter is usually different because there were different pieces to every offer that came in.
So if my question then is to the listing agent, well, if all of those buyers accept those multiple counters, how will we look? Will we win that contract?
Yep.
Or do we need to work on some aspect of our offer because we want to win this contract? We want to get that house.
Now, I'll give you one thing that I used in my career when I was selling, and it worked pretty well, is normally when it comes to price, they do counter everyone at the same price, or if there's an all cash, they may not, but as a gross generalization, they will counter everyone at the same price. So I know if I receive a multiple counter at, just to make up a number, $550, they've countered everyone else usually at the same price. That's been my experience. So what I would do is ask my clients if they were interested in countering themselves and going up to, in this example I said the multiple counter came in at $550, would you like to go back to them and say we'll pay $555? Because everybody else who just signs it will sign it at $500. We've actually bumped ourselves up $5,000 higher. So if everybody else signs it and we're the only ones that increased it, that may help me win in those situations. So you've just finished listening to our short form radio show. If you want to hear the whole show, you've got to tune in on Monday mornings at 10 a.m. Look forward to seeing you there.